Hi, I'm Lisa from the Monday Morning Cooking Club, and we can't all be together tonight, the four of us, because we're all in our homes, of course. I just want to say thank you all for joining me, and we're very excited because this is the first time we've ever done a cook-along at night. And the reason we're doing it at night is because we wanted to say hi to the viewers in the UK and anywhere around there, and in Europe and in Israel and in South Africa. It should be the morning on Sunday, so hopefully you're up and out of bed and ready to watch what's going on. And if not, you'll catch up later. I think that's the way it works on Facebook. It's always going to be there and you won't miss it. Today we're excited because the book has been launched this week on UK Amazon. So everybody in the UK and everywhere that Amazon posts to in that area can now buy our beautiful new book, which we're really excited about. This is Now for Something Sweet, and it's in stores across the UK right now. Today we are making a very special recipe, and it's a very good time of year to be making it. We are making Crunchies. Crunchies are like an Anzac biscuit, which is a biscuit with coconut, golden syrup and butter, and oats, of course. But this is made into a slice, which makes it much more interesting, I think, something different. It comes from a lady called Saran Chait, and she gave us the recipe actually a few years ago, and it's been on Facebook for a little while. And she's originally from South Africa, and they used to make it all the time. And the lovely part of this story is she now lives in Sydney, and her kids make it every Anzac Day and take it round to the neighbours with a sprig of rosemary. So it's a South African thing that's come to Australia, and we're going to take it on board for Anzac Day as well, which is in about a week or so. Okay, so let's get started on the recipe. Hopefully you've all got your ingredients ready, and I'll tell you what you need. I'll just run through it quickly. You need 275 grams of flour, plain flour, that's 1.5 heaped cups. We've got 1 cup of oats, and these are just rolled oats, but steel cut is ideal because they don't go mushy and you don't lose the shape. But any sort of oats are fine if that's what you've got. We've got 3/4 of a cup of caster sugar. We've got 1 cup, I think, of desiccated coconut. And the single magic ingredient for this is golden syrup. The best brand is this one, Lyle's, but of course this is run out, so I'm going to be using this one. Sorry, CSR, it's fine. But if you've got Lyle's, and I think Lyle's is actually a British product, then go for it. Okay, so we've also got essential butter. We've got 220 grams of butter, which I'm going to melt, and I'm going to start by melting the butter. So put it in a small saucepan like this, and I'll start melting it, and then I'll see what, I think there are some things I need to say or answer or say hello to some people.
You've got
out there.
4 hellos,
Yeah.
So from Jackie, Caroline, Tamara and Poppy.
Hello, hi everybody.
And Esther, just chiming in.
Hello everybody.
And you've got Ruth from the UK saying thank you.
Oh, hi Ruth. Thank you for tuning in, and happy Sunday to you. And I know it's pretty grim over there, and just we're sending all our love from Australia to you in London and everywhere else that's doing it tough. Okay, so the butter's melting, and to the butter we're going to add some golden syrup. Okay, so we've got 220 grams of butter in there, and we're adding 2 tablespoons of golden syrup. And the way that I like to measure it, sometimes mostly it works, is I get like a light olive oil spray and my tablespoon measure, and I'm going to spray it. Careful, don't spray it near the flame because you know what happens. I'm going to measure it this way. I've got 2 heaped tablespoons of golden syrup that's going into the butter.
Guy and Natanya are here.
Hi,
say hello.
Guy and Natanya. Thanks for watching.
Tracy says hello, and Shelley says the time difference is great. It's 10 a.m. in the UK.
Oh, perfect. Great to see you guys. So that's 1. No, see, that olive oil thing didn't work for some strange reason, but we'll try it again. So that's 1, and this is the 2nd heaped tablespoon. Golden syrup is just so delicious. Okay, that's it.
And Saran, who made the recipe, is excited watching this all come to life. Thank you, MMCC.
Hi, Saran. I hope we're doing the recipe proud. I think we are. Oh, there's one. It's good timing, isn't it? Dogs, doorbell. Well, welcome to my life. Anyway, butter is melting. We're going to put it in a baking tin. You need something that's this size, and this is about 22 by 33 centimetres, 21 by 31, something like this. We found this amazing one, and we're not sponsored. at Williams-Sonoma. It's called a quarter sheet pan, and it is non-stick and it is unbelievable, and we use it for so many of our slices in the book. So we're going to use that today. I'm going to put this in before I put the baking paper in. This is really like glue, and I don't want to eat it, but under the paper, between the paper and the tin, it's perfect. So I'm just going to spray around here, around the edges and the bottom.
Tracy has said, wow, the kitchen looks so different at night.
I know. And I just want to say, do I look different at night? Because that's the funny part of this whole thing. When I was getting ready to do this, because it was dark, I felt like I was getting ready for date night or something. Like, it was really strange. So I put on earrings and I put on mascara and I've put on a nice shirt instead of my usual black T-shirt, because I thought, hey, this is a really, really special occasion. So I'm so happy you're all here with me on this special night. Okay, baking paper, just like this. Turn it this way. You know how sometimes it's got a curl in it, like that? I always turn it upside down so that the edges don't curl over, they curl out.
That is so smart.
Thank you. Okay, so I push it in. Oh, and just want to say hi to Bibi, who's behind the camera.
Hi, guys.
Again, helping us as always. Okay, so we've got the baking tin lined with baking paper, and now we're ready to make the mixture. This is melting, and it's just about melted. Now you need a super giant bowl. The bigger the bowl you've got, the better. It's just easier to mix it. If it's in a bowl that you can't toss things in, it's really awkward and really hard, okay? So in your big bowl, we're going to put in the flour, the rolled oats. It's really a very, very quick and simple recipe. We've been making quite a lot of them the last few days, and we are all in love with this recipe again. You know, you forget for a while when you don't make a recipe, and then you find it again and you go nuts for it. Well, that's what's happening in my house. So here's the mixture, just mixing it round. A really nice way to mix dry ingredients together is either to use a whisk, which is one way, or to just transfer it from one bowl to the other like that, and back and forth and back and forth. But I'll just do it like this today. Okay, we've got the mixture in there. So that's flour, oats, coconut and sugar in here, butter and golden syrup in there, and it's just about melted. And I think the other magic ingredient of Anzac biscuits or these Crunchies is, of course, baking soda, which makes it light, and you'll see what happens in a moment when I put it in. So, yeah, that's melted enough. I'll turn it off the heat. Just going to add, oh, I forgot about the salt. So it's an interesting thing. So it needs 1/4 teaspoon of salt, but I've run out of my fine grain salt, and I've only got my coarse grain salt. So I'm going to put in, and I forgot, I'm going to put it into the butter and let it just melt through the butter for a second, because that way we'll hopefully disperse the salt throughout rather than every third person getting a grain of salt, which is not ideal. Okay, so butter's there. I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking soda, and I'm going to stir it. I want you to see what's going to happen. It'd be funny if it didn't happen. Now, of course it's going to happen. It just froths up beautifully. See how lovely that is? I just want to tell you, my whole family's standing behind the computer watching, and I don't know if they're like mesmerised by this or they're just waiting for me to finish so we can have dinner. I think it's the latter. Yes, okay. So see that beautiful foamy mixture now? That's going to go in. Now I'm just going to mix all that together. I mean, it's super easy.
Got a few comments coming through.
Yeah.
So Natanya misses cooking with you.
Yeah, so do I.
Martine says hi from Cape Town. It's nice to watch you in action.
Hi, Martine. Thanks so much for watching. We're so happy to do it in your time zone. Really, really excited about it.
Sandra says love watching you, and Diana says hey. Eliza just cooked these this afternoon. And Sandra also says that in Britain they're called flapjacks.
These. Amazing. Wow. That's amazing. Thanks all for watching, guys. So nice to have you all here. Really, really nice. Okay. So there's the mixture done. If I wasn't in front of a camera, I would, of course, take some and taste it because it is super delicious at this point. But, of course, I won't do that now. Just going to move these out of the way. And then just pour it in. And you can see it's a crumbly mixture. And feel free to use your hands or a spoon, or hands and a spoon. I don't want to compress it too much here because I don't want a biscuit that I can't bite. So I try to keep it as loose as I can, but not too loose, because if it's too loose, then it's going to fall apart in your hand. So sort of compress it, let me say 60%, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Let me use my hands. You want it quite even, but it doesn't have to be smooth on the top. Okay. I wonder what Saran's thinking. Saran, are you sitting there like going, no. Is it okay what I'm doing? Okay, so that will probably be that. I'm happy with that. Saran, are you happy with that?
Linda asked if this was in the new book.
Yes, this is in the new book.
And Sandra says to take a teaspoon and taste it.
Oh, okay. All right, only because Sandra said it. I wouldn't have done it otherwise. Okay. You know, some people like eating cake batter and biscuit batter and dough. I'm one of those people. Yum. It's really good. Just yum. You could eat the whole thing like that. That goes in the oven, 150 for about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. This is very oven sensitive. So if you've got a hot oven, just watch it. And if you have an oven that's not so hot, you might need to give it another 10 minutes. So I'm going to put it in the oven. And I did prepare one earlier because I did want to show you the next quick step. Move my mess away. Okay.
Shelley says this is brilliant because she usually fiddles around making individual round biscuits.
Yeah, I mean, how easy and quick is this? It's so, so good. Okay, so this came out of the oven 10 minutes. It had it 10 minutes ago. It had its 30 minutes cooking. And it's very easy with the baking paper just to lift it out. And then you'll need another oven tray. Any sort of oven tray will do. And what you need to do, and I've got a big flat one that I normally use, so I would put this on the flat tray and cut it on it, but you don't have to do it like that. And then you cut it into the shape you want. These are the ones I made yesterday. And as I was putting them out, I decided they look like Wheat Bix, which is sort of quite funny. They're like little Wheat Bix, and maybe you want them square, maybe you want them different shape, it's up to you. But now is when you must cut them, because you know what will happen if you don't cut them now. It'll get hard and you won't be able to cut them. So it's nice and soft now, and I'm going to cut it. What shape are we going to do? Let's do squares. You know, you can be really pedantic and measure if you want them to all look the same. Or you can just sort of eyeball it and, you know, do it like this. So let's see how we go.
Saran said you're doing perfect and that it doubles up really well too.
Oh, in a big, yeah, I'm sure it would. Thanks, Saran. I'm happy I'm making you proud. I hope I'm making you proud. I sort of assumed that. Maybe I'm assuming too much here. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, so this I've cut into 6 fours, 24. So it makes 24 squares-ish. And you can see I haven't done a perfect job. And I'm going to put it on a baking tray. You could even put it on a bigger one and just spread them out a bit because you want them to dry out now. So now that's done. The oven goes off and they go back in the off oven that's still hot with residual heat for 2 hours. After the 2 hours, they won't quite be hard, but they should harden as they cool. If you find, like I sometimes do, that they're still not to my liking, because I want them to be like this. Okay, I want them to be, sorry, everyone just got sprayed with crumbs. I want them to be super crunchy. So I put mine in for another 10 minutes at 150 and then change it off and let them cool again, and then they were super crunchy. And these are exactly what you want for Anzac Day, exactly what you want for any afternoon with a cup of tea or at night, just before you go to the glass of hot milk. It is so, so delicious. So these are the Crunchies. I hope that yours are going to work out perfectly. I'm sure they will because the recipe is great. I just want to remind you all that this recipe is from our new book. Can you pass me the new book, please? Which is called Now for Something Sweet. And it is available now Amazon UK and, of course, across Australia and New Zealand as well in all good bookstores. That's my book promo. Anybody
Before you
with
go,
a question? Yeah.
Paula Hansky is here. She's watching too with a love heart.
My mum. Hi, Mum.
Marilyn loves this recipe. John
Thanks,
says they
Marilyn.
smell delicious, so I don't know if he's smelling it through the computer or making his own.
They really do smell delicious, actually. Really
Elle
good.
says, hey, Lisa,
Hey, Elle.
all the way in the UK.
Yeah.
And Moira says she was introduced to your books by her sister-in-law when you started. She gets each book when she's in Sydney or when they come to Johannesburg, and it's great watching this series.
Fantastic. Thank you, Moira. Thank you. So nice to see everybody. I hope your crunchies are fantastic. I hope you enjoy the book when you do get your hands on it. And what we're going to do this week, we're going to try to get the 4 of us Monday Morning Cooking Club ladies together and do a Facebook Live with the 4 of us. I don't know if it's possible, but we're going to go and try it, and just for a chat, just to introduce ourselves to people who don't know us and haven't got any of our books yet, but soon will, we hope. Anyway, signing off now. Everybody have a very nice Sunday. I hope everyone is laying low and staying healthy, and hopefully this will all be behind us and we can just concentrate on cooking. See you all.